that we think have a lot of money will tell you we are still looking for,
They're still struggling.
still struggling for money. So what's the principle of saving? Saving is when you put aside money. When you earn it, the first thing you should do is to save. Not spend, then save. The first thing you should do is save.
Then after?
Yes, and I'll give you the order. The order is simple. For me, practically, this is what I do. One, when I get my earnings, I pay my tithe. That's the first thing that I do. I pay my tithe. The next thing that I do is I do saving. Okay. The third thing that I do is I save for different things. I save for investments. I save for my children. Okay. Of course, you will say, manager, you have money that you're earning, but the issue I'm pointing out here is the practice, the discipline.
Yes, financial discipline.
The financial discipline. I save for my children education. After that, now I can start spending on other things. Okay. I pay tithe. I save for investment. I save for the children's education. Then now I can start spending on other things. What am I trying to say here is that you can never save after spending. You must save what you've earned. And that's a good practice for us to adopt.
You must save what you earn. I hope our viewers are understanding you very well. I mean, the conversation is really so much interesting. But I don't know which best practical ways should these young people save, because I know most have ever tried saving using a box, this small box they made with the wood or metallic. Then after, when life becomes hard in a ghetto, you find the thing is already broken and money spent.
When I was
Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, from the east to the north to the west to the south. We want to welcome you officially to this big conversation. And today we are having an expert from the banking sector who will be discussing how to turn small earnings into long financial growth or into long financial stabilities. And to discuss this today, I'm joined by a bank manager of Equity Bank, Soroti branch, and that is Francis Ochiba Erumu. Nice to have you, sir.
Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Yes, you can say hi to the viewer.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am very humbled to be here this afternoon to be discussing this wonderful topic of growth in line with incomes and businesses. Like the moderator already introduced my name, Francis Erumu Ochiba is my name, and I'm a team leader of Equity Bank Soroti. I'm also a farmer and a businessman.
But you don't look like a farmer. You look like a businessman.
I'm also a farmer and a businessman. I do a lot of farming. Yes.
Okay. Oh, well, we are today discussing how to turn small earnings into long-term financial growth. And my name is James Alomu, the only Italian born in Teso. And to bring you to speed, the manager, many young people are earning, but they are saying that life is becoming too expensive. That's why they are unable to save money. Is that a real problem or it's an excuse?
Thank you, James. I don't think that is really the real problem. I think what we have as a challenge is that we have not developed the right culture of saving. So saving usually doesn't look at really how much you earn. Yes, it's a requirement that you should earn something, but however little you earn, you can start saving from that perspective. For example, James, if you got a 10,000 in a week, doesn't hurt you to put aside 1,000 or 2,000. It's not about how much you've gotten, it's but about that discipline that you have to know that when you earn a certain income, you ought to save. You know, while we're in church, we're told that 10% belongs to God.
Yes, exactly.
And that 10%, it doesn't look at how much you're earning. So it can be a 10% of either 10,000 or 10% of 5,000. So I think what we need to grow is the discipline and the culture of saving. Irrespective of how much you're earning, you should be able to put aside certain money for future use, for goal development goals, for anything. So I disagree with the statement of saying because you're earning little, you're not able to save. It's about the culture of saving.
It's of course we have seen in most cases people attributing it to maybe the lifestyle the young people live are the ones making it to making them fail to save. Do you concur that?
Yes, sometimes the lifestyle that you live, obviously, you should be aware of your earnings, first of all. If you're talking about savings, you should be aware of your earnings. What is it that you're earning? If you're doing business, the first thing that you need to know is how much is that business generating?
Mm.
What are your average expenditures on that business? And then what are you saving? But James, to take you to the bigger perspective of discussion,
Mm.
when you look at the young people and the business, there seems to be something which is not connecting.
I mean,
Most times I ask young people, when you're going to start a business idea, is it something that you're passionate about? Because we've seen people who have started doing things, and after 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, the idea is down. So, one, when you're identifying the business idea that you want to do, what must you look out for? Number one is it should be something you're passionate about as a young person. Is it something that you feel like you can keep doing even if the earnings go down about that business? Is it something that you can keep doing? Is it your passion? Okay. The next thing is that I think we should operate within the limits of the law.
the
Mm?
limits of the law.
Yes, don't choose a business idea that is not required by law. For example, if a young person, don't say because, for lack of a better example, because there's a lot of money in selling marijuana, let me get join and start selling marijuana. Because that's not permitted by the law. Okay?
But they make money. Although
Just James said that one is yours, but I know it's not something that is lawful to do.
yeah,
Okay?
it's illegal.
It's not something lawful to do. The other thing is always business ideas are not very far from the community where you are. Start by looking at the community where you stay. You may find that where you are, probably the community is challenged by something. Maybe the shops are very far, so people have to walk probably kilometers away to go and, just to go and buy salt or sugar. Maybe medical health is an issue. There is no drug shop around there. So when you're looking for a unique idea, start with your community. Look around you. What is that service that is lacking around your community? Because most cases, you may find that that is the critical thing that can work for you for business in that area. So that is one. You should be able to, one, identify something you're passionate about, look at the needs of the community. Don't go out of the law if you're going to make that business work. Then, of course, the other thing is very key is to have a bigger vision for the business. We are talking about growing incomes. So when you're planning for, if you're starting up a business idea, what is that big vision for it?
Your target,
What is the target? What are you up to? I love reading. I read a book by a gentleman called Stephen Covey and talks about the 7 habits of the highly effective people. Okay, and one of it, he says, be proactive. Okay, so the thing is, if you're starting that business, what is the big picture? What are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to achieve? And then, of course, the other, talking about growing income. I don't know where I'm going very fast, but
No, it's
I'm trying
okay.
to give you a few things.
Yes.
The other thing is that you need to have the right technical skills and soft skills to grow that business idea.
Right and technical.
Right technical and soft skills. The technical skills are how you do that particular. I will give you an example. I love chapati.
Yes, you love chapati.
Okay, I love chapati. Sometimes I go to my guys down the street. I say, "Give me Rolex." You can, James. You can be the owner of the chapati store, but you may not have the technical skills to make the right chapati. Okay, so when I'm talking about technical skills, I'm saying if you're starting that idea, make sure that if it is you doing it, have the right skills for you to promote that idea, to grow it. If you don't have the skills, then it will be rather that you first get the skills before you do it. Or you can be able to employ somebody with rightful skills, okay, to do the idea. Because most times people want a service where when they come, they are satisfied with the service. And that's what will keep bringing them back. So for you to make sure that that happens, just make sure you have the rightful skills. I think one of the things that we need to avoid I have listened to so many people when they talk about starting up a business, and one of the things that comes up is, James, if you have a brother and you're not able to be in the chapati store,
Mm.
you're like, why don't I call my brother to come? I'm not saying don't employ your relatives to be in the business, but the big point of discussion here is, does that relative have the rightful skills to do the job? Because if she doesn't have the rightful skills to do it, then most likely the business will struggle or the idea will crumble. Okay. So your qualification of someone to work for you in that business should be, does he or she have the rightful skills? And then maybe the other thing is that, are you able to hold that person accountable? Because in the end of the day, the business must work as an independent entity. Okay. And when I talk about it working as an independent entity is, James, you should look at the chapati store as a business. Know when it's making money, know when it's not making money. Don't mix your personal life with that business, because in the end of the day, you're going to eat up all the capital. Because when you're hungry, you will say, give me one chapati. But when they give you the chapati, are they giving it to you as the owner, or are they giving it to you as a customer? Because if they're giving it to you as a customer, you're paying for it. If you don't have the money, then it should be written in a book somewhere that James has taken a debt of a chapati. Okay, so we have borrowed the owner of the chapati, one chapati or two. He will pay when he gets the what? Gets the money. Okay, so there must be that bit really in the business. And then, of course, the other thing is, I know everybody will tell you this, but the basic bookkeeping skills for the business. When do you know that the business is making money
And losses as
and
well.
losses as well? So you must have the discipline of keeping the basic records. What has been the supply today? What have you used to supply the business today? Over time, is it something you can be able to reconcile on a daily basis? Is it something you can be able to reconcile on a weekly basis? Is it something that you're reconciling on a monthly? And I will tell you, if you're a small business owner, and in the end of the day you leave not knowing what the business has made, then you've already started failing. Because these businesses need very, very strict monitoring and follow up and evaluation every now and then, so that you're able to keep within the means. Okay. I don't know. And then, of course, the other things is choosing the right financial partner to support you. And I will tell this to you for free. I come from the background of banking, and I'll tell you that most time when the business is starting, it's not a good idea to expose it to borrowing. Okay. Because it simply means that if you start running a business with borrowed funds, your expenses are going to increase because you're paying interest on the loan. I always advise that the best way to start a small business is from the background of saving. Okay. Then put your business to a certain level, let it grow, at least to break even. Break even is simply where the business is making enough money to cater for its costs. That's in simple English.
I don't know whether you're honest enough, because we have seen you people trying to ask the young people to go for loans for business without studying, first of all, their without studying what their intentions first. But you're now saying you don't actually support someone to go for borrowing. Are you not contradicting
No, no,
yourself?
James, I support borrowing, but I don't support borrowing for startup.
For startup?
Borrowing for startup is a bad idea, because
Okay.
usually, like I've told you, when the business is starting, it has a lot of expenses involved in. You don't want to add another expense of interest, because the loans you're going to borrow, you're not going to borrow that money free. There is going to be an interest tagged to it. It might be a low interest, yes, but there is going to be an interest on it. So what you must do when you're starting the business idea, and I'm going to discuss this with you, when you're starting the business idea, the best thing to do is to start it with your own savings. Okay. And then allow that business grow until at least a break-even point. And I've said a break-even point is simply where your business is making enough income to cater for its cost without looking at the technical definitions.
Yes.
You're able to make the cost, say, let's say 100,000, and your business has gone to a level of making that income in a month. So you can be able to cater for your cost. From there, now you can start thinking of borrowing. And that's when I will advise you that as a young person, there are quite a number of financial products that you can borrow. Taking an example from where I work, where I would want you to come and borrow.
Yes.
We have the youth loans that we have in there. These youth loans are being given to young people below the age of 35, and we give these loans to you in a group setup. For as long as you belong to a group that is registered by either a local government at sub-county level or a district level, and you have a very strong leadership in that group, you're proactively engaged into something, you're doing some business, you're doing some activity that generates money, then you qualify to be one of the persons that can be able to take up this product in the bank. So I would want to say that you're welcome to Equity to partake in that product. But I have said, before we give you the loan, we will train you. We would want to understand, how is your business standing? When did you start this business, if it is a business? What is the level of operation has it reached? Because we want to give you the right financial advice. Because we don't just want to give you the loan. We want to see you, like what we said, we want to see you grow that income from 1 million capital to probably 10 million to 20 to 30 to 50. It is our responsibility to take you through that journey. So that's why we will make sure that we train you and we give you the right information.
Do you do follow-ups? Because in most cases, you only find the writing in the wall. Bank property. Do you follow up when you're giving someone money? Because the people come borrowing in different intentions.
James, interestingly, for this particular product that I'm discussing,
yes,
is that first of all, it's an unsecured product. When we say it's unsecured, we're simply saying we are giving it to you without security.
Okay.
We only give it to you because you're a young person and you belong to a group and you're doing something, okay? But we don't ask for security from you, and it's the cheapest product in the bank. But do we do follow up? Yes, we have a relationship model in the bank where every officer is tagged to certain customers. If I am your loan officer, James, if I give you a loan, expect a call from me, expect a visit from me, expect checkups from me, because I want to understand if the money I have given you has been put to good use. Because there is me giving you the money for the small business that you're running, and then you divert it for a marriage. Okay? And usually where the problems come when it comes to borrowing is from that area. Fund diversion. So we follow up, yes. To answer your question directly, we follow up, we monitor these people. So by the time somebody is failing to pay the loan, we have already known what the problem is, and probably we have guided on what should be done.
Being an expert from the banking sector, you have been in Tesla for long. You're born of Tesla. Where do you see a future of Tesla when it comes to savings from the young people?
Thank you. It's a question that always brings me to want to reason with young people, because I feel that we need to develop the culture. We need to do more training for saving, because I think people have not understood the value of saving, really, more especially the young people.
They're having more challenges.
Partly because probably they're having more challenges. Yes, just like what you've said. Probably most of them are not working. Most of them maybe don't have what to do and all that. But even the few that have something to do, you find that the culture of saving has not critically come out. I will tell you an example. Most times people think saving is when you've gotten the money, you've handled all the issues that you need to handle, and then now you save. But between me and you, James, you know that we always have issues.
Yes.
You will always have issues. There is no way, you will never get to a time when you're saying, now I have enough money. Even the people that we think have a lot of money will tell you we are still looking for,
they're still
struggling for more money. So what's the principle of saving? Saving is when you put aside money when you earn it, the first thing you should do is to save. Not spend, then save. The first thing you should do is save.
Then after.
Yes, and I'll give you the order. The order is simple. For me, practically, this is what I do. One, when I get my earnings, I pay my tithe. That's the first thing that I do. I pay my tithe. The next thing that I do is I do saving. Okay. The third thing that I do is I save. I save for different things. I save for investments. I save for my children. Okay. Of course, you will say, manager, you have money that you're earning, but the issue I'm pointing out here is the practice, the discipline.
Yes, financial discipline.
The financial discipline. I save for my children education. After that, now I can start spending on other things. Okay. I pay tithe, I save for investment, I save for the children's education, then now I can start spending on other things. What am I trying to say here is that you can never save after spending. You must save what you've earned. And that's a good practice for us to adopt.
You must save what you earn. I hope our viewers are understanding you very well. I mean, the conversation is really so much interesting. But I don't know which best practical ways should these young people save, because I know most have ever tried saving using a box, this small box they made with the wood or metallic. Then after, when life becomes hard in the ghetto, you find the thing is already broken and money is spent.
When I was growing up, one of the things that my parents encouraged me to have, I grew up in the hands of so many people, and Dr. Ngulu here in Soroti is one of my guardians that raised me up, the owner of Soroti Medical Associates. And one of the things that he made sure that I got to do when I was still a young person, I was not even working. I think I was in my back of senior six. He told me, go to the bank and open an account. Okay. And then that account looked to be a redundant account because I was still in senior six bank. There was no money in it. But over time, I learned that it's easier to keep money with the bank. And I can assure you, we have accounts in the bank in Equity that don't have charges. They don't have monthly charges. Okay. If you put your money as 20,000 in the account, your money will still be 20,000 if you don't spend it. What I mean by not having monthly charges is, of course, some banks will charge certain money in the end of the month. So if you put your 20,000, probably by end of the month, or end of 3 months, or end of 1 year, you find that your account has moved into negative because of those deductions that happen probably on a monthly. But in Equity, our accounts don't have monthly charges. Okay. So what that simply means is that if you opened your account today and you deposited your 20,000 in your account as a saving, and you've not spent it, you've not used it for anything, it simply means that even after 1 year, you'll find your 20,000 in it. It will still be 20,000. So for me, I think the safest way to save is, one, to have an account. Because that box, surely, James,
Yes.
Between me and you know when things get hot, even if it was me, things have gotten really so hot. The next thing you hear is, where is the hammer? You bring the hammer.
If the hammer is far,
you can look for anything. And you break it. And of course, I've had so many stories around the savings. I visited so many areas around Teso, and I think I was in Kalaki 1 year ago, and the group was narrating to me a story of how they had saved some money along the year, and it was now time for sharing the money. And at that particular time, I think one fateful night, I think fire caught the house where the saving box was in. To cut the long story short, the money was nowhere to be seen. So I would recommend that open a bank account, which is not expensive. Open a cheap account that can be able to help you to do the saving. And run your saving. Have a purpose why you're saving for that money. Of course, we've known that savings are very useful to us. One, it supports you when there's it creates an emergency fund. For example, you've gotten something that you didn't expect would happen. If you have some savings, that could be able to help you. Okay. But also in terms of business growth, the goals for business growth, savings becomes a very, very important thing. Why? Because if you're going to grow your business from a capital of 10 million or from a capital of 1 million to a capital of 5 million, you must learn the art of saving. Okay. So you must be able to put aside certain money every time you earn it. Of course, the other thing is that you've seen scenarios where probably you didn't expect to have something happen. Emergency. You're doing a business, God forbid, one morning you wake up, the shop has being broken too. So if you've not saved, it simply means that you're going to go back to zero. But if you've saved, then you're able to come and use the money that you've saved to again get back and get into business. So I think the culture of saving must be something that we adopt. And that is one thing that I think the Western world is better than us. Because I will tell you, I have information that that in the West, by the time somebody is about 18 years, probably their parents have saved for them certain amount of money. So automatically, when they make 18, they become independent. They're able to kids. Yes. Yeah, but James, between me and you, for us now in our culture, you find that probably you're even having a responsibility of your great grandfather. So instead of you starting life from maybe a front desk, you first have to live back, take care of the challenges of your father and your grandfather. So if you're not saving, it simply means that by the time now you come into the responsibilities that you're supposed to undertake, it's already kind of too long.
Yeah, we are speaking to the others, the 20s and above. What is the common mistakes people always make amid savings that always keep on reducing their savings and also deteriorating their income stabilities?
The thing about savings, the common mistake we all make while saving is spending beyond our means.
Beyond our means?
Yes.
What's that?
It's very important for you to understand how much you make, how much you save, and how much you should spend. If you met James having a good time, like the young people call it, the good time, and he's spending his money, don't be tempted also to have a good time.
Exactly, emulating.
Yes, without clearly understanding what is in your pocket. So I think the biggest issue for saving is those abrupt expenses really that come and you've not prepared for them, and you want to move in lifestyles that are not measuring up to standard. You want to live like James, and James is probably has a more stable source of income. You don't understand how much he earns, but you also want to live like him. Yes. You want to yes, you want to live like James. You want to move and go to a very expensive. I'm not saying don't go to the expensive hotels, but only go there when you think you can be able to afford, so that you don't split up a little bit of the savings that you have.
Well, thank you very much. We're having a very good conversation with the branch manager, general manager. I just want to, how should I address you?
Just call me Francis. It's
okay. No, I should not target title.
Okay, manager Equity.
Manager Equity Bank, that is Soroti branch, and we are here discussing how young people can create a difference amidst the small earnings. But I've also moved around doing my journalism. I've realized most of a majority of people get hand to mouth, and they find it so challenging to save money. As a banking and as an expert from the banking sector, what will you specific, because we are talking to people who don't get a hand to mouth, but we are also talking to people who get just money for feeding, for breakfast, over tomorrow again they struggle to look for money. How best?
For people that get hand to mouth, my advice would be have what I would call targeted saving.
Targeted.
Yes, I would call it targeted saving. Of course, I understand that probably what you're getting is what you're spending in a day, but still, with my discussion of saving, is that you save before spending. Whatever little that you're getting, if it is 3,000 or 5,000, can you have a target of something? Let's say target to start a business with 200,000. So as you're doing the work that you're doing that gives you hand to mouth, and of course, most times it's probably casual labor that you're doing, and they are paying every end of the day. Have something in mind that you want to start, probably that is going to cost you maybe 200 or 300,000. Plan a time when you can be able to save that 200,000, because we're talking about growing the incomes, right?
Yes.
So as you're planning, save. As you continue working casually, earning the 5,000 every day, put aside something, either every day or every week. I don't know, whatever way you're being paid. Put aside something, even if it is 1,000. Put aside that 1,000. Have the discipline to put aside that 1,000. How many days do you need to raise 200,000?
That one now goes to the
You need 200 days. You need how many days? 200 days.
Yes.
So 200 days is not is less than 1 year. A year has 360 days.
65 days.
65 days. So meaning that by the time the year ends, if you started in January, around August, September, you have raised a capital of 200,000 that can give you to start the other idea that you're thinking about. When that idea starts, then you've moved from just handing hand to mouth to you've created a small investment that is able to start growing. So again, it goes back to the same issue. You have to be intentional about saving. Saving is not something that happens by accident. You don't just wake up in the morning and your account has 300,000, 1 million. It doesn't happen. You have to be very intentional. However little you're earning,
Yes.
you must have the intentions to save. And I can give you that for free. That it's not about how much you're earning. Again, it's about the discipline.
The
financial discipline
and
to save.
also financial literacy.
Yes.
I don't know whether that's the right word because I'm not from the banking sector, but all right. Thank you very much, manager. As we come to the end of this conversation, I want you to take us through the loans that you people give from the equity now as we sum up. It will be unfair if I just close like this. Yeah, we have for the youth, for the old people, what, and so forth.
Thank you very much, James.
In a 2 minutes time.
Thank you for giving me the platform. When it comes to the products we offer in the bank, I already talked about the youth loans that we have. And I said for you to qualify for that youth loan, you must belong to a group of young people that has strong leadership. The group must be registered at the sub-county or the district level. And then you can qualify for money between 100,000 to 5 million, which is unsecured. So that's a youth product. Anybody below the age of 35 and belongs to the group can qualify for that. We also have loans that we give to our mothers. We call it the Equimama loans. The Equimama, again, also, we give those loans through group setup. Again, the idea is we know that our mothers, most of them don't have land and security to offer. So we give them those loans within the group setup. Again, the group should be registered at the sub-county level. It should have strong leadership. They are taken through a financial literacy program, and they are given that money. But James, also, I thank you so much for inviting me into the show today, because this is one of the things we do in the bank. We have a program, a product we call a financial literacy program, which is given to any organized. Just organize yourself wherever you are, be organized and call us. We will come and train you about money. We'll come and talk to you about money free of charge. It's a product that we give in the bank, okay? The financial literacy talk. We have engagement and talk about money. How do you make money? How do you grow money? What displacement? You have that kind of conversation. We have it in the bank. We have a fully fledged department that does that in the banking sector. And of course, now we have the other products, the secured loans, the individual business loans that can be secured by either land sales agreement or titles. We have asset finance. For example, a young person wants to buy a motorcycle as a business idea. We ask you to contribute probably 30%, and then we give you 70%, and then we're able to buy for you the motorcycle that you start paying slowly until when you finish. So there are quite a number of products that I may not be able to finish now. But
they will just visit the bank.
let them come and visit the bank.
All right, I really appreciate it. One, thank you for honoring our invitation. It takes courage to speak to a man of your caliber, but we are really so grateful. All right, thank you very much. I want to thank the people who were behind the production, Nova Promotion, as Saidi, comedian. I remain James Alomu, the only Italian born in Thank you.